munchies because doesn't matter, occasion. So I'm about to go old school with this Whopper. Listen, let's get to it. Let's get right into it. First of all, it's beautiful in Atlanta. Homegirl got on shorts. Yes, indeed. It is 62 degrees outside. That sounds about true. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Tory Lane. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. Tory Lane. First of all, he's trying to keep his name circulating, which I get it. I understand. I understand. He's in jail, but I don't care. We know what he did. I knew the dude was guilty when all these guys came forward trying to capture him, because that's what y'all do. You can't play jail. He did it, and now y'all have some kind of feelings because he's in jail for it when he's supposed to be in jail because he did it. And y'all still attacking Meg. I just saw another video where some guy, sounds like a white dude, is attacking Meg. Why? So Torey has a album that he came out with. First of all, this dude is talking about he wish he could have took Drake's spot and went head to head with Kendrick. Why would that even happen? It didn't even happen with J. Cole, and they were supposed to be quote unquote the big three, which I digress. So it was meant to happen between Drake and Kendrick, clearly. And Tory Lanez doesn't qualify. I know some of you guys say that he's good at rapping or whatever, but I don't know if I trust y'all's judgment on skills and ability. And I'm not gonna listen to him. I wasn't there. Mm-mm. And it have to be an accident. And I pretty much control the music I listen to. Yeah. So he's just saying whatever, or he probably does talk dumb like that. I don't know. I never listened to him before. But he has an album that he came out with in jail. I heard he's poking fun at this case. I thought you weren't supposed to be able to profit off such crimes. When did that change? And his album cover is of him showing his chest and his prison hat. Really? Hmm. So he's supposed to be innocent. When y'all gonna stop saying that? Because he ain't innocent. Yeah, Megan makes some mistakes in the way that she approached the situation. She definitely messed up when she lied and said they didn't sleep together. I don't know what made her say that. But me not knowing her and them, I could tell it was a lie. You know? But at the end of the day, it happened. And he's been convicted of it. He's actually serving time for it. Hmm. Now, when Chris Brown did what he did, we all saw the backlash he got. But Tory Lane, you guys are coming out to show exactly what kind of no good jerks you are. Like Lucy. Hmm. Not that we're really surprised, but yeah, sometimes it is necessary to jumble the person and their creations together. We can't always do that. No, we can't. As I see here, I look all around me. Nothing but businesses. We can't separate the businesses from everybody who works there, everybody who has stake in it. We can't do that. So yes, impossible. But here, in this case, yeah. Just like I choose to not deal with Kanye anymore, or Ye, for that matter. Both. All trio. So y'all stayed on academics for all of what? A week and a half? 2 weeks maybe? Then you just what? Forgot about him? Let it go? All that arrogant junk he was talking, he was correct, right? Because you let it go. Not one peep about what he did with that young man. Nobody saying nothing. That's a problem. That's a problem. Y'all going right on as if it didn't happen. And that's exactly what he said was going to happen. That's exactly what he arrogantly said was going to happen. Hmm. So, on top of that, what happened to the other guy who was on call with him? Because he was talking, what, a lot more than DJ Academics. Hmm. And who was that? Hmm. Come on. Who was it, y'all? Tory Lanez's manager, right? Allegedly. The young man said that that was Tory Lanez's manager on the line on the Twitch stream with DJ Academics, saying all those very inappropriate things to him. He knows this guy. He knows Academics. I've done my research. Y'all never addressed that. You skipped over it and you never addressed it. You never called that man out once. Why is that? Hmm? Why is it? Why is it that y'all never called out Tory Lanez's manager for the same sick, predatory behaviors that he was displaying right alongside of DJ Academic with young Lori on that call? Hmm. I guess I'll wait on getting no answer for that. I guess. Hmm. There was a third person, because I'm going to make this short and sweet. There was a third subject, but I forgot. I literally forgot. And I can't see my title, y'all. What was it? I don't know. There's so many things that I want to talk about. Oh goodness, place 3 in. But I don't think the third thing was relative to this. I don't know. I guess I have to take it out the time. Look at the sky. It's beautiful outside. I have a lot of work to do now. I have to take my car to get clean inside and out. And I have a lot of individual stuff to do. A lot of laundry, schoolwork, got some furniture to put together. A lot of chores. A lot of chores, but off subject, since I can't think of the third subject that I wanted to talk about. I saw the interview with Day 26 on Eli. I'm gonna come back and talk about that. But I have to do some research. I didn't realize they had good commercial success. I didn't watch that Making the Bang. I only watched the one with Dylon and Dylon. I watched that. Sarah Stokes. Hmm. He said they had 4 seasons. I didn't realize that either. Wow. So they had a very interesting interview. You know, just the people who still cop for Diddy. I just saw something where Lucy again his punk ass still saying something about Diddy. You got people in comments saying, he's blind. Well, first of all, when people say stuff like, why is the cops stopping driving while black and all this while black or whatever? We already know you are more likely to be highly punished for your crimes if you are quote unquote allegedly black. Allegedly. Because my shirt is black. Does my face look like my shirt? So when people, mostly men, make that argument for other males when they do the most horrible things. This guy ran through a lot of talent, a lot of talent, and again, I'm gonna discuss the 26 and that situation in the interview, but that guy Q, I'll tell you one thing, it's insane The amount of people who watched that interview and still went back to old like replays of the show and still like condemned him for the way he was behaving, still didn't understand. When I saw those guys cry, you know, the damages that man has caused. There's a lot of men that have caused an immeasurable amount of damages to people, many people on this earth. And a lot of people want to cover it up, take up for them, etc. And it'll never be okay. I also noticed the one guy who was sitting in the back row. There's two guys in the back row, not the one who was sitting to our left, right, who said he had left a couple of times and whatnot. The one who was sitting, he was stoic. He was pretty much non-responsive. He looked upset and bothered. And apparently it had been addressed before taping because nobody was going and saying like, "Hey, man, you okay?" You know, and they're very attentive to each other. When he was talking and he was getting very emotional, you know, the guys were definitely rubbing his shoulders and comforting him and things like that. And he was like, you know, "It's okay, bro." I would have said it's okay, bro, too, because he was rubbing his shoulders kind of hard. I'm like, I don't know if I could have. But nobody, you know, it was almost as if he wasn't there. Except for one time when they did start crying, and the one guy who was sitting in front of him, I don't know his name, I didn't know his name, um, turned around, he was feeling uncomfortable, and he had both his shades. So, y'all know celebrities wearing them shades like that. They trying to hide a whole lot, because, you know, it's standard. Going through a lot of mess to be in the industry, and yet, and still to this day, I see people, the first thing they say is, get that person a TV show, get that person a record. It's so crazy that that's the first thing that comes to people's mind right now. You should not be wanting anybody to go anywhere near the industry. Like the young lady who was sitting in the subway and she was singing, I don't know the name of the song, but she sounds just like the person who sings it, or even better. And she was sitting down, and she sounded like she was in praise alone with her in the Lord. It was so freaking deep. And people in the comments said, "Oh, get her record deal right now." What? All that we know about the music industry, Amy Winehouse, Sam Cooke. I'm talking everybody, Jackson, Prince, everybody, freaking Diddy, everybody, R. Kelly, everything, everybody. Okay, I know everything. I know everything my kids is a marvel. Like, what the hell? Y'all still it pushing, telling these youngest out here like, yes, you should still to this day want a record deal. Man, come on, we gotta break these spells, man. We gotta break these spells for real. So let me keep it moving because time ain't waiting for nobody. It's 2 o'clock already. I got a bunch of things to freaking do. All right, so it's a beautiful day. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay. But there ain't no letting up. It's never gonna be okay. For all the people, for all the children who have been violated in their lifetime, in their existence, who have been taken advantage of, who have been treated harshly, who have been abused in any kind of way. It's not okay, especially when there is a person, your abuser is a person of status and power, and they have not been addressed or punished, and they have done this to multiple people, and they just continue to do it, and people praise them, you know, to the underage people who, you know, have been taken advantage of. Some, you know, are no longer with us because of their abusers. We must always, always seek justice for abuse. We must always, always seek to put a stop to abuse. We must always, always speak out against abuse. When we stop fighting it, when we are normalized to it and okay with it, propaganda is what can lead to the normalization of something. And we know how there are so many people who want to convert um, PDF filing, the filing away of your PDFs into something that is a personal preference, a choice. We notice the things that people are starting to um, look at as reality, mainly thankfully to TikTok. It's so deep over there when it comes to things being revealed about what's happening to children or what has happened to children from the elite. The most sick and sinister things that we've heard. It's hardly any part or anyone or any part of any sector of any type of industry that isn't or haven't been involved in child abuse on a serious and sinister level, because that is a part of the rituals of the industry. When you have a DJ Academics or Tory Lanez manager or Kelly, G Diddy, a Drake, it's not enough to point it out. It's not enough to say, uh, Ack was on the phone with Nori and look on the stream with Nori. Look what he did. Oh, and who's the other guy? Oh, it's like almost like you guys didn't want to ID who the guy was. I only think like maybe one or two people I saw do commentary on it, and I did watch a lot of you guys do commentary. Although I did commentary on myself. But I wanted to see what you guys were going to say. And you said, only a couple. Is this Tory manager? No, you weren't confused. Y'all weren't confused. Nori did a whole stream with another streamer where he showed the Instagram of the guy. He made it clear that he definitely knows this guy. How he put his Instagram on pause after he messaged Nori, DM'd him, and asked him to take down that particular stream. Nobody wanted to pull this guy forward and harp on the fact that he needs. You see, you got first of all, well, is that really you? Because this guy's saying it's you, just you. You're a sick individual, and you must be dealt with. You, academics, Drake. There's so much stuff on Drake. Listen, this subject is not ever gonna go away by my lips. No, it's not. Diddy isn't okay. He doesn't get any excuses. Those who want to excuse him, including Angie Stone. I respect Angie's contributions to music. But sometimes when people open their mouths and talk, you begin to see and understand how their mind works. And before this woman passed away, she did a video on platform like she normally does. And she said, y'all let Chris Brown have his song, residuals. Y'all doing him wrong. And I agree with her on that. And I think that's a safe space. I think it's appropriate. She's a singer, well respected songwriter, well respected, been in the game forever. One of the originators of rap. Okay. Hey, never got her true accolades and all that she was committed. Not okay, but this is back together alone. You know how y'all been talking for the past, what, 2 or 3 years? Man, y'all should have been digging up in cars. That is, what would be really good is a compilation video of 50, I say good, at least 50, minimum 50 sisters telling what the impact was for the song I Need You and Breath was to them. I guarantee you those two songs make all of the difference. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. One thing Angie said was nobody wanted to participate in her video. Then when they saw how impactful the song was, and then the video was, they were calling her up and saying stuff like, "Oh guys, we shoulda," and Samuel was saying it and all that. I think Will Smith was in it. Either he's incredibly smart or his marketing team. If I was a dude, soon as she let, and it's Angie Stone, right? Soon as she let me know what the song was about, my black brother, I love you. There is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. And she's like, I want to get my brothers in the video. Man, I would have been in that video. Why they passed up on that is a prime example of them motherfuckers didn't deserve to be in that because they didn't want to be beside it. And that's what they get. That's what they get. And a lot of times, them Negroes don't deserve us. They don't be deserving. They don't be deserving. But when Angie said, let Chris have his song," I agree with her on that because everybody's taking it, using it, changing it, remixing it, and everything. And put some respect on this dude's name. This is Chris Brown. This is one of his, in my opinion, and I don't know his discography. I don't rock with Chris Brown like that. He's very talented though. Dang, it's a beautiful song, and it is a little on the corny side that everybody thinks this song. I ain't gonna lie. Um, so I agree with her on that. I agree because it's taken away from him and the song, him getting all the accolades for the song that he deserves. And this was the one to do it, and this was the time for him to have that. So I agree with her on that. It's very significant what is being said there. But when she got to talking about P. Diddy and R. Kelly, and that's when I was like, oh, fucking bitch. Mm-mm. And then she said, well, I ain't gonna get into all that right now. No, you said more than enough. You said more than enough. I said, well, you got a mammy ass mindset, don't you? Mm. Okay. Mm. See, we're not doing that shit. She was cooling out with her music. I like her vibes. Everything that I admired about her and liked about her is still true. Always there. But that mindset, I can't fuck with it. I can't even see how I can look at her ass and 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 see how she can say anything in defense of a fucking Diddy or a R. Kelly. And that instantly stopped me from playing her songs. And the grief was over. It was over with. It was over with. Tragic what happened to her, but okay, I'm over it. Because you don't give a fuck what happened to any of those victims. So fuck you. Whether she flipped over in the van or whatever. I don't know. I was not even there. I don't know. But who in the world gets online talking about you gonna have to run me my money? To who? Last person that talked tough like that to they baby company subsidiary, Sony, was Mike. He pretty much was talking just like that. He was putting it all out there, letting it bear. Okay, Prince was doing the same thing, and then Prince went and started his own thing, and either Prince did have his affairs in order, but you got it, which kind of peaceful, or whatever, because whatever they want to do, they can. Whatever they want to make happen, they can make happen. Whatever happened to Anthony was not on accident. It was not no. Yeah, but we already know that. And I think she knew when she would open her mouth the way she did. That she was still in her own privilege. You could almost call it a freaking self unreliable. Because baby girl was ready to go. Ain't no way you gonna run it like that and then tell me you think you gonna be good. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I try to, because people come out here about D'Angelo. And he is a seriously, I gotta get my floss. I think it's in the bag. I have practiced so deep every time I eat, and it bothers. I get food in and pocket for it. I'll be ready to dig for gold. I'm just gonna end up having nail polish all in my teeth. So, I don't remember know. Go back and look at Brown Sugar. You can look at that video. You can look at his body. Excuse me. You can say that guy was not 19. He was 19. And he was presented so that women can be PDF files, I guess. I don't know. I mean, but 19, he's still considered the at the age of consent. Um, but Angie was like 30. I know men do it all the time. There's a huge fly that just landed on my windshield. We have one summer feeling like day, and here's this big old fly. Just remind me of how huge these flies are in Georgia, which that's actually considered a baby in comparison to what I know is coming. I don't even think that they be real sometimes. Then they be real. But I don't know because okay, and she says, well, he approached me, and then she says, they put them together because they wanted her to help him finish the album and things like that. Stuff like that. They gotta be killing me. He be grossing me out at the same time. But I'm talking about that comedian. But anywho, okay. First of all, he didn't seem 19. He's very mature, and he didn't look 19. All right, let's analyze this here for a second. They're both living a life as adults. They're both in the same industry as adults. They're both working together as adults. All right, cool. So if I had never had this experience, I wouldn't be able to somewhat relate. So in my 20s, no, that 40s, 30s, probably 30s. I was probably in my 30s, and he was in his 20s. He was like 24. And I think I was like, I don't know, late 30s maybe? Late 30s, early 40s, who knows? Hell, I don't know. And that was probably the first, yeah, the problem. And a lot of it, so it can happen. So, and if I had never had that experience, I wouldn't be able to see that part of it. So I get that part. Um, and Angie should have still known that. If she just break right out of trying to come down on her for that shit, man, this was like, that's all I can say. Because really, he was a grown man living as a grown man, doing grown man shit in the music industry. I mean, Diddy was with Cassie for like 10 years and she was 19. And ain't nobody saying nothing, but y'all jumping all over freaking Angie. Y'all only saying something because you got the tape of him beating her down. And she filed paperwork. But other than that, ain't nobody saying nothing about that shit. So, y'all be on one. Y'all do. But the stuff about her taping Angie Stone taping for Diddy and R. Kelly, I can't get with it. I can't. And that's my time, y'all. I'm out.